evening. My name is Tim Flynn. I'm the mayor of the City of Oxnard, and we're in the end of the month of July, going into August. And interestingly enough, we have some great things that are going to be happening in the fall here in the City of Oxnard. Recently, I wrote a letter to the City Council and to the staff and to the people of Oxnard that is in the most recent agenda for tomorrow night's council meeting, and it outlines many goals and priorities for the fall. First and foremost, the city has done an excellent job, I believe, delivering services to the residents under very restrictive circumstances. Of course, our budget was cut over the past several of years. We had a decrease in revenue, but we're anticipating in the next coming years that the budget situation is going to be a lot better. But speaking of budgeting, budgeting is very important, and the City Council just concluded its two-year budget cycle several weeks ago. However, starting in October, the Finance Director will be leading the City Council through a new process to completely revamp and relook at how the city spends taxpayer money. And in particular, it will be centered around priority-based budgeting and performance-based budgeting. And explaining very quickly what priority-based budgeting is, number one, it's a new opportunity to involve more people in the decisions about how the City Council and city government spends taxpayer money. That's number one. And number two is it allows the City Council to make more objective and well-informed decisions about how to spend taxpayer money. And along with that, we will have goals, more specific goals for various programs that we have. As an example, we have a graffiti program here in the City of Oxnard. That graffiti program we spend $750,000 a year removing graffiti. We would like to set new goals and priorities to spend less money on removing graffiti, and therefore the efforts at prevention and intervention will be enhanced and drawn up as new strategic goals. And when we do that, we'll be able to assess after 1 year, have we actually reached those benchmarks or reached those goals? So again, priority-based budgeting and performance-based budgeting will be the new charge for how the City of Oxnard spends money starting in October of this year. The second thing is that many people know that in 2008, the city passed Measure O, which is a half-cent sales tax, which generates about $12 million a year in extra income for the city. That $12 million is supposed to be spent on extra enhanced services for the public. And the City Council has allotted for this coming year all but $4 million of that money. There have been many suggestions that have received widespread support from the City Council that the City Council will be taking up in the early fall. And it's important that you know about them, and it's important when these are agendized on council meetings that you come and speak out whether you're for or against these initiatives. Number one, we have two senior centers, one at the Wilson Center and one at the Colonia. In the Colonia, both senior centers need renovations, and these renovations will allow seniors to continue to receive meals at these facilities, and also that the facilities will be safe and that they will be ADA compliant. So those in our community that have disabilities or they have wheelchairs, that they'll have better access in and out of these facilities. Another idea that's come forward are lifeguards at the beaches here in the City of Oxnard for 3 to 4 months out of the year. That will be entertained by the City Council. An additional idea is providing for security out at Ormond Beach. Many people know that it's been the goal of the City Council for the past 10 or 15 years to restore and to enhance the wetlands at Ormond Beach. And there are rare species of two birds, in fact, the least tern and the snowy plover that are protected under this preservation of the beach. However, we need more presence there at Ormond Beach, and a suggestion has come forward to provide a security trailer that would also enhance those services. And an additional suggestion with Measure O money has been to fortify two levees that protect residents in the floodplain from the Santa Clara River. There are these two levees. One is called SCR1, borders the River Park development. That levee is going to be taken care of, we're hoping, in the City of Oxnard by the Army Corps of Engineers. And the second levee is on the other side of the railroad tracks, just off of Ventura Road, that extends all the way down the river. And there's a gap in that levee, and that's called SCR3. And right now, the funds through grants have been raised through the County of Ventura, through the Watershed Protection District. But the City of Oxnard is also going to have to ante up money, and it's been recommended by Councilman Perello, the most recently elected and newly seated council member, that a portion of that Measure O money that we have to allot, the $4 million, be allocated towards this SCR3 levee. Again, closing the gap, a new solution to protecting residents here in the City of Oxnard from what is called a 100-year storm. And so I don't have a lot of time to get into a 100-year storm, but we want to make sure naturally that in the event of a severe storm here in the City of Oxnard, we don't want homes to be flooded, and the levees will protect residents from that. So another very top objective we'll be dealing with in the fall is the disposition of 46 properties owned by the former redevelopment agency of the City of Oxnard. As many of you know, in the past year, the governor of the state of California, Governor Brown, eliminated redevelopment agencies, and the job now is for those redevelopment agencies to wind down and sell their assets. The City of Oxnard has 46 properties. Many of those properties will be classified as government-related public use properties and will be deeded over to the city by the successor agency, of which I am a member of that successor agency, and the assistant auditor controller of the County of Ventura, Jeff Berg, is the chairman of this oversight committee, will deed over these properties to the city. But there will be many properties that are left over that will not be deeded to the city, and the city needs to make decisions. Are we going to buy those properties, or are we going to allow those properties to be sold and that money then redistributed to various taxing agencies throughout the state of California and here in Ventura County? It is very important that the public participate in this process once they know what those 46 properties are, and give advice to the City Council and direction of the City Council about what they feel would be the best use for those 46 redevelopment properties. Finally, the City of Oxnard is in the process of selecting a permanent city manager. The city has gone since the month of February without having a permanent city manager and has had an acting city manager for the past year and a half. The City Council has decided to make the city manager's position permanent. Right now, the City Council has just approved a firm that will conduct that recruiting process for a new city manager. We hope the City Council, and I've set a goal for the City Council and for the staff, to have a new permanent city manager in place by January of 2014. And coinciding with the selection of new city manager, the City Council has embarked upon a new ethics set of goals regarding ethics in the City of Oxnard, and we're hoping that the establishment of new priorities regarding ethics in the city coincides with the selection of the new city manager or permanent city manager of the City of Oxnard. So I'm glad to have had an opportunity to inform you exactly what's going on in the City of Oxnard, what will be going on in the fall. Council meetings are held on Tuesday evenings beginning at 6 p.m. Formerly they were 7 p.m. All members of the public are allowed to speak for up to 3 minutes on any issue that is not agendized at the very beginning of the council meeting on public comments on items not on the agenda. We encourage you, and I encourage you as the mayor of the City of Oxnard, to come to a council meeting, speak during this 3-minute period, discuss what you think the City Council should be taking a look at that perhaps the City Council hasn't. You might want to come down and offer some constructive criticism. You might want to thank the City Council and the government and the employees for the job that they're doing. Whatever's on your mind, you're allowed to do that. And of course, members of the public are allowed up to 3 minutes on certain items that are agendized to speak out on those items. And we would invite your critique. We would invite your input. Again, Tuesday evenings, the City Council meets weekly, 6 p.m., City Council Chambers, 300 West 3rd Street, right here in the beautiful downtown of the City of Oxnard. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you next time.